Welcome to the Andy Noise Experience podcast, Endurance Noise and Random Musings. I think it's Friday, about 6 o'clock at night. And I think Jester's in California. How are you, Ed?
I am. I'm in my hometown, Murrieta, California.
Yep. Nice and toasty there? Warm?
Actually, it's really it's cool. It's there's a breeze blowing. I don't know if it's affecting my mic. It's getting a little bit breezy, and it must be 80. It's cool, actually. It's like 80, which is nice.
Yeah. Same here at Bakersfield, in the 90s instead of the hundreds. And I actually just got out of the pool doing a pool workout, kind of layered Hamilton with weights and jumping up and down the deep end and swimming around. And then I had to, my friends were going to do the High Sierra Trail this coming week, and I was going to help support them. But with all the smoke and fires, it looks like we can't do it. So unfortunately, you've been home I haven't talked to you in a bit. You've been home last week and this weekend, right?
Last race I did was on the 15th. So
yeah,
Angry Owl. Second weekend in a row without a race. So I'm feeling kind of antsy here.
Nice. Well, that was one of the things I like Ed come up with ideas. Ed talks about them a lot more than I do. But I had this idea. I don't know. I want to do races and then I don't want to do races. I am signed up for the 100-miler up in at Craig Simmons Run for Walk. I came up with this idea because I know Ed's always looking for events and races. And it's not a race per se, but it's a 200 and a 300-mile challenge. I'm doing
hold
200.
on. Before you go any further, I want the audience to know all Andy has told me. Ed, I have an idea for a 300-mile race. I'm like, okay, sounds good. Is it? It's in California.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Is it road service? Yep. That's all I know. I know nothing more. And other than that, he was thinking about Halloween weekend. Other than that, I know nothing. So whatever comes out of his mouth, I'm hearing for the very first time, like all of you. So go ahead.
And one way to get Ed to respond to your text quickly is say, hey, how about a 300-mile race? So, yeah. So anyways, my first 100-miler was, well, what do you think was the endurance challenge, okay? Yes. And it's always around that Halloween time. So I looked at the math, and in a 6-day race, you're about 1.5 times faster than me. So what if I do the endurance challenge 200 miles, you do 300 miles, and see who ends up catching each other? And so you do the course. But here's the thing. A couple of provisos that we can obviously – we're doing this completed. I always say don't leave it in the hallway. I want to start at Santa Monica so I can actually during the day and it'd be prettier, and go to Corona, go to City Hall, turn around and head back. And you'll start at Santa Monica, go to City Hall, and then go back and then go to Long Beach. So I'll get you 300. Well, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll do the course 3 times. I'll do the course twice.
Okay. So if I started at Long Beach, went up to Santa Monica, and then back to Long Beach. Okay, Long Beach to Santa Monica is 50 miles. So Long Beach to Santa Monica, 50 miles. Santa Monica to Corona, 100, so that's 150. And then do the same thing reverse, go Corona to Long Beach and back, or Corona to Santa Monica and back down to Long Beach.
No, now I'm thinking the math would be, we would both start in Santa Monica in the morning, and we would both go to Corona, and then you would come back to Santa Monica and then go to Long Beach. So you get to do the prettier part twice and kind of, not be on that bike path. You would end up doing the Long Beach to Santa Monica section more. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. So I would go, okay, so we both start Santa Monica, go to Corona and back. So that's 200 miles. Yours ends on the out and back, but I go from Long Beach from Santa Monica to Long Beach and back to Santa Monica.
Yeah, and get 300
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And it'd be a pretty course. We could get people to come out depending on how the whole COVID and things like that. One of the things I would kind of like to do is kind of go by the rules of the 3,100-mile race. Did I lose you?
I'm here.
Yeah. Might have lost Ed there.
I'm here.
We frozen up. Okay.
Uh-oh.
What I kind of like to do, I'd like to do the 3,100-mile rules. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Ed?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm
I'd
here.
kind of like to
I'm
do.
here.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. I'd kind of like to do the I'd like to do the 3,100-mile routes, like that the course is closed from midnight to 6. So we're not out there in the middle of the night. That may, that would give you a little practice for that. I mean, we don't have to. That was just kind of an idea because I think I would go off the course anyways. I'd get myself like an Airbnb and a Uber and just stop like Badwater does, put a stake in the ground, go cut a couple hours off, rest and recuperate. I mean, because I'm not really too keen on walking around downtown, walking around Los Angeles at midnight to 6.
Okay.
But I mean, but those are all kind of that's just kind of my first thoughts. But
Right.
what do you think? What do you think of the 200, 300?
I like it. Yeah. That sounds like fun.
Now, what we would do is it would take me 4 days. I'm thinking like start on a Thursday, finish on a Sunday. That would be 50 miles a day for me. I might do it faster, but then what would be nice is if we start on Thursday, Friday, people could come out on Saturday and Sunday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday and kind of meet up with us if possible. Right. And, we can obviously talk about, whether aid or whatever, but I've had this idea of quite a lot over the years of like, how about doing a 200-mile, going from Santa Monica to Corona and back. That way I don't have to deal with my car logistics. And then I thought, well, I could have Ed do it, but then I go, oh, well, what would be a challenge in that? But if Ed had to do 300 miles, and if you do the math, my PR in a 6 day is almost you're 1.5 times faster than me in most everything. So giving me 100 miles sounds ridiculous, but I figured you'd want to do 300 anyways.
Yeah,
but you could do 200. Right. Yeah. So
I'm not for it. That sounds like it'd be different. It'd be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Just we can kind of, and so then it would be kind of like just when, because the race traditionally is third week of October.
Yeah, second, third
Halloween
weekend. Yeah. Like mid-October usually. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't, I just thought, Halloween, because I was kind of shocked, I guess, Javelina is still kind of going on. And so, like I said, it was just kind of an idea that I thought I would get a hold of you and talk to you, just throw it out. We didn't even make a call. I just said, hey, how about a 300-mile run, Ed? And, or 200, whatever, something. I'd like to do something on the Endurance Challenge course. We know the course well, we're not, and it's a fairly fun, challenging course. There's a few sections that are kind of fugly, but, that whole bike path part, but it'd be kind of an interesting kind of thing instead of like going across country and trying to find a race that might not happen. So do you have any, you've got that race coming up next weekend, the Lhotse, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and then after that, I don't know. There's things that are, I got to look at the schedule. There was one race that I was thinking about doing, but I think they may have canceled. I've got to check into it. It was Heroes 24-hour in Colorado on 9/11. And I went to look for it recently and couldn't find it. So I maybe was not in the right place. But anyway, so that possibly would be the next weekend. And then, of course, there's Ride to Walk, which is Craig Simmons' race. Is it Ride to Walk or Walk to Ride? Ride to Walk? I don't. Anyway, it's his 24-hour race up near Sacramento. And that's also the weekend of Blue, but I've seen nothing from Blue at all. And it's getting, it's a few weeks away now. That's, kind of got to get something one way or the other. Either we're full on or no, we're off. But I haven't, have you seen anything or heard any chatter about Blue?
No, I signed up for the watch list and I haven't heard from it. But yeah, the Ride to Walk, he put up the entries and that's on September 19th, which after this weekend, I think is 3 weeks away. So I'm kind of getting ready for that. And so, yeah, he just put up the entrant list for the Ride to Walk. So, but yeah, I checked the other day and I hadn't seen anything. So like I said, I just kind of saw that. I just kind of came up with this 200, 300 or 200, both of us 200. And I thought, well, I can handle 50 miles a day and then just kind of work it from there and kind of figure out a weekend that might work good for you.
Yeah.
I'm kind of going to, the last time I did it with Joel and we didn't even have a car for the last 50 miles. We did totally. And you did. Yeah. You pushed the ice chest with the ladies that one year.
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
That was crazy. Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
No. Well, no, everybody knows that race.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a secret race.
No. I was.
I mean the race with the week.
I was saying when you went the last 50 miles with just the two of you?
Well,
Because that's what you
what
said,
happened
right?
was, yeah, he walked with me and went to mini marts and bought stuff for me.
Yeah. So you didn't have
He was my pacer and crew.
So you didn't have a car, right?
No, we didn't have a car. I had a crew and a pacer. It's just that, but what happened actually was Joel he's kind of like you, but even worse in terms of sleeping. So when we got to mile 75, you were actually sleeping and had just left. And poor Joel was so out of it. I left him and the sun was almost coming up. So they kind of let me get out the aid station without a pacer. And that's when I raced you guys and I caught you guys in Redondo Beach. So,
okay.
So, all right, they're going to take away my terrible finish that year. I'll get retroactively DQ'd for. So
it's all good, you know. The good thing was that you knew who the race director was that year, so you didn't have to worry about any infractions, right?
No, I guess so. I don't remember those years, but yeah. So anyway,
that was year that I was the RD. So
yeah, that's what I thought. I couldn't remember if you were the. Oh yeah, that's right. Because the guy like a couple months before decided to cancel the race. I was at Santa Barbara 100 actually when that all went down, and then it was like all this confusion, and then you took it over. You know, that's another option, not to hold you anything, but you do have this Just Racing thing. If you wanted to kind of do an informal kind of Vol State, add more people to it kind of thing, you know, but you know, that's an idea.
Talking.
Yeah.
Now
I mean,
we're talking. That makes it, because it would be fun to get some people involved in being a SoCal race with plenty of, there's no need for aid stations because your aid station is the next 7-Eleven, you know, half a mile ahead of you.
I did it. And, you know, so it could be a kind of a Vol State, you know, kind of that kind of action too. So, you know, that I meant to bring that up too, and I just kind of blanked on it. But as anyone knows, these shows are unscripted. That's why I like doing them.
What if we made it to where I don't like ever making things mandatory, but what if it was the whole thing was screwed that we did it?
I would love that.
We did it without crew. We had to make our way. I don't know how we would well, if it's just the two of us and we know we're going to trust each other, but if we get more people involved, because definitely if you're crewed versus screwed, you're at a big advantage if you've got a car crew following you.
Well, no, I would totally like to do it completely screwed division. I mean, I'm thinking what I'm planning on doing, just because we've talked about this before. I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to take a bus down to Los Angeles like the night before, stay at Airbnb, then take an Uber to the Santa Monica Pier and start the race with my backpack and just do the whole race completely. Screw division completely on my own. I mean, people can come out and help me, you know. It like, I'm not sure, like when you do if you do FKTs, the kind of the rules are you can't have it's called self-supported if you take kindness from strangers kind of, but you kind of don't, but you don't call up and go, hey, give me a cappuccino from Starbucks and bring it to me. But if someone says, hey, Ed, I knew you're out here and brought me a sausage croissant from Jack in the Box, you can take it. But I mean, or we could just make it like ourselves or anybody, but like I said, just spit. But again, like I said, with we might even put it on, and I wanted to talk to you as soon as possible so we can maybe put it together. It's not going to take long to put together because it's basically going to be, I'll show up at Santa Monica Pier at this time and Thursday morning or whatever, and we go and the thing is everybody's got Garmin's and you can get the Garmin, people want to cheat, they're going to cheat. But I mean, the Laz has it go across Tennessee and Georgia, and they just kind of check in from time to time. And, though there's been a few results in that race, like I told you about, that I find kind of suspicious. People have done some amazing times there.
Right. Well, when you talk about having just people that come along and can help you out in Ball State, they call those road angels. And I love the idea of, random people. Or now what could happen is if someone just said, hey, I'm part of the running community, I'd like to help out. All right, well then go look for everybody on the course and equally, check in with people and kind of a road.
Or we could get people. There's plenty of people. They could just say, "Hey, I'm setting up an aid station at such and such, Jack in the Box, and I'm going to be there from these hours. So anybody who comes through, it's whatever I got, I'm going to help you out. And that, that, like I said, it's just completely, like I said, spitballing. But yeah, we could do that. I mean, totally just be like, hey, and if somebody wants to be an aid station and come out and just not be like specifically following someone the entire. That's basically what we want.
And
we don't want somebody with a crew following them the entire way, like bad water, water, how they're following you the entire. Well, you die of bad water if you didn't have the car following you, more than likely. So like I said, just kind of an idea, and I think it would definitely be fun. It'd be definitely a challenge, and we can obviously work on the specifics, and it'd be cool to have some more people kind of join us. In fact, you could just have people come and join you to do the a 50 or whatever, whatever they float your boat kind of go ties into. There's a thing called Chase the Jester.
Yeah.
Around California. It ties into that too. You can come do some of Southern California's.
I was thinking what we could do if we could. Okay. So on the Chase the Jester, the smallest race is 220 miles, but we do have a race medal for that. And I'm trying to think, okay, I don't want to put myself too much on the line, but I still have the materials from the EC100 because last year they did the same route, but they have a different name to it now.
Your hands on the camera, Ed.
Oh, all right. How's that?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So they have I think it's called Saddle to Surf. But the point is, I actually even have some of the old EC buckles. So that could be something that, of course, they're only 100-mile buckles, but we could figure something out. So, thanks.
I mean, it can be completely informal or formal, or, whatever. Just I want to do it, and so I want to make it as simple as possible. And like I said, but you putting on your Chase Jester, and you've been wanting to do other things. And if we do it sometime in October-ish, when the weather's a little better, more, and that's just the traditional time that me and you both did a migration across Los Angeles in the past. And hopefully by then too, COVID will be more figured out.
Right.
And it's just kind of a good time of year. I mean, I really like, as we talked on this podcast a lot, we both like the pavement and the urban aspect of it. And so I think it'd be fun. So that's what I wanted to call in and check in with you and just talk to you a little bit about it. And, so we'll talk more about it. In fact, I told Ed kind of spitball the workshop, the whole thing kind of through Zoom, which we would do anyways on phone calls. Anyways, we could just when we get a little more nailed down the specifics, because why not just show you the making of a race?
Yeah. So I'm already getting some ideas. So some things that we could do. We could make it almost like a scavenger hunt where you have to take pictures at certain landmarks.
Yeah.
So and take a picture of you with your Garmin there, or something. So at least we've got some kind of.
Oh no! Well, I did last year. I did the ruck, and in fact, I tried doing one the other day here in Bakersfield. I did about 5 or 6 hours. I was going to walk all the high schools, south, north, west, east, just the directions, and I learned from the ruck guys in San Francisco that they have a 50-mile course, and what they do is they have waypoints, and you have to take a picture of yourself in front of Barry Bonds, in front of San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge, the submarine. And so we have that Anaheim Angel, big A in Anaheim. You can take a picture there. You can have it where you're taking pictures, and then what you do is you put hashtag, and you post it up on Instagram, and that way people can kind of keep track of where you are and stuff like that and share it. So there's
and
those kind of checkpoints.
We don't tell what the checkpoints are until you kind of a last kind of thing where you don't even know the route of Barclays until the day before, and then he gives you got to draw up your own map. So that way no one knows the landmarks are going to be until like the morning of the race or something. We give them a list and go, okay, here they are.
Well, that San Francisco ruck that I did, it started at 8 o'clock at night, and that's when they handed you the 20 checkpoints. And so then you had to do the research to find them all. So everybody sat around. So the problem was we only had 20 hours to do the 50 miles, but we had to sit around for like an hour figuring out our route.
No, that part I would say eliminate. I don't want them to have to do that.
Oh, no. We would just tell them. Yeah.
along the route, there's going to be certain landmarks, so
Oh yeah.
they'll know the
Yeah.
route ahead of time. They just don't know
Yeah.
which landmarks there are
Oh
until
yeah.
the
Yeah.
day of. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No. We're not gonna make it. Yeah. You got that big old fish there outside of Huntington Beach at that restaurant.
Well,
I just take a picture of it.
don't be giving too many away. Okay, we got to. But no, yeah, there are some great landmarks or signs or something that we could definitely use. So yeah, that would
All
be
right.
that would be a lot of fun. And if we could put something together to where people might want to be involved in it as well, and yeah, I like it. I like it.
Sure. All right. Well, like I said, I just wanted to get a hold of you. I'm notorious. I've been sleeping well, but I sleep from like 10 to 2, and I get up and work for an hour or two, and then go back to bed at 4 and get up at 6. And so when I get up in the morning, sometimes I have these ideas, and this idea just popped in my head. I was looking for races, and I thought, the endurance challenge, how about that? And make it, 200 miles, and then I can involve Ed, but won't be any fun for 200 because he'll be done with a day before me because it's going to take me 4 days to do 200. And then I thought, well, if Ed has 4 days, he can do 75 a day and get 300. And so we could end up both finishing up in Santa Monica relatively the same time or so and stuff like that. So okay, well, and what are you doing today? You're out walking, you're getting some miles in?
Yeah, well, I'm kind of bummed because as I've talked to you before, I've never been able to get a running streak going for very long.
Yeah.
And a friend and I decided to kind of do one together starting back in April. And he didn't get his mileage in, and that he was going to do it that night, and he went to take a little nap and then didn't wake up in time. But then he woke up, it was
the
next morning. So his streak broke, and that was about 2 weeks ago. So my streak was up to 120 days or so. Yesterday I had a super long day. First thing in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning in Beverly Hills, and then saw a client in Riverside, and then taught another class out in Palm Desert, and got home pretty darn late. Got home, Martha had the TV on, sat down on the couch, started watching TV, fell asleep, woke up. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Boom.
Yeah.
Streak over. So yesterday ended my streak. So I'm starting a brand new streak. And for me, it's a 2 mile minimum. And for me, walking, running, I count it the same. I don't distinguish between it. So I just now finished my 2 mile walk. So
nice.
Day one of my streak. So
just get back on the wagon and head on out and stuff like that. Well, sorry that happened, and at least got out and we got a conversation in. So I'll let you go, Ed, because I didn't want to make it too long. I just kind of wanted to just talk about this particular this idea, and we'll workshop it some, and hopefully get something out so that people can join us, say in October or so. So that sounds good.
I'll give it some thoughts, and we'll come up with some creative, interesting, fun things to do. So sounds like a lot of fun. This will be